Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a dive into Invest 93L. And that basically means we're watching a point of interest for tropical storm or tropical system development. Right now, Invest 93L, identified by the National Hurricane Center, is sitting across the Gulf Coast states. Okay, it's currently south of the Florida Panhandle. All right, so a lot of the convection we're seeing this morning, a lot of these clouds here are on the western side of the storm system overall. Now, the storm system itself, the center part of low pressure, is spinning away about right there. You can kind of make it out just a little bit. It might be a little farther south of that. But right there, you can see where the little spin is. But that's a storm. All this whole cloud complex and everything, all the convection, all the storm clouds bubbling up, that has been identified as an area to watch for potential tropical system development. Okay, likely not a hurricane, but potentially some kind of tropical storm or tropical depression developing in the next 48 hours. National Hurricane Center has identified that we could be dealing with a tropical system over the next 24 to 48 hours, giving in this system a 40% risk of developing into some kind of tropical system, whether it be a tropical depression or tropical storm. This is infrared satellite. You can see the cloud tops there really showing brightly to show you just the overall development. The convection is there. The thunderstorms, the rain are occurring now in the southern Gulf Coast near parts of Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, with some rain showers and storms rumbling their way into Mississippi and southern Louisiana. What's going to happen from there? Well, again, right now, the center part of the storm is located near the Florida Panhandle, kind of near the Tallahassee, Florida area. It's going to have two options. There's two scenarios here that'll play out. One scenario is that the central part of low pressure will hug the shoreline. It'll stay close to the coast. All right, that's one option. And if that was the case, it would be less likely to form into a tropical system. All right, it'd be getting away from the uniform environment over the Gulf waters right now, uniform temperature, uniform humidity, and moisture. When you throw land in there, you can see some quite wide ranges and variations that can make it difficult for these tropical systems to really gain a footing. And we see this all the time, right? Storms get big and strong at the point they make landfall. Once they reach land, they weaken. Okay, they lose that uniformity within the temperature and moisture on the land. And the land has some other variations too, some more shear possibly, and all those kinds of things. Right now, though, the Gulf conditions are favorable for tropical development, but it all kind of depends on the track of where the storm is going to go. All right, so here's a look at some spaghetti plots. And this particular collection of spaghetti plots keeps the central area of low pressure, the area we're watching, near the Gulf Coast, near the coastline, all right, which means that it's looking less favorable that it's going to develop into a tropical system, all right? That's why it's sitting at 40% instead of a 60 or 70% chance, all right? But the alternate scenario, and some of the spaghetti plots pick up on this, not a lot of them, but some of them indicate this is a possibility, that the track of the system could be placed a little farther offshore. And if that's the case, it'll be able to tap into more heat and moisture from the Gulf waters, as opposed to if it was hugging the coastline and there'd be that divide in environments from Gulf waters to the land, all right? So there's a chance that it could track farther south, giving it a higher area over a more favorable environment. But the current track is suggesting it'll hug the coastline, in which case we're going to say it's less likely than not that it'll produce some kind of tropical system. So chances there are pretty low. In either event, the storm is there. The storm is hugging the coastline, and it is going to produce quite a bit of rain down across the Gulf Coast, all right? Looking at coastal areas of Alabama, Mississippi, and especially Louisiana, all right? Areas around the boot of Louisiana, New Orleans, over towards, maybe off towards Beaumont, Texas area, Lake Charles on the far western side. They could see anywhere from 3 to 4 inches to some data suggesting up to 7 inches. Rainfall will really depend on the strength and intensity of this tropical system. First of all, will it become a tropical system? If it does, it'll be able to squeeze out more moisture, and you'll see the higher end rainfall totals closer to 7 inches. If it's not able to develop into a tropical system, then will likely fall still within heavy rainfall. And yes, there will be some flooding problems along the Gulf Coast with this, but just not as heavy, okay? We'll fall within that 3 to 4 to 5 inch range if it doesn't turn into officially something tropical. Either way, a lot of moisture headed down to the Gulf Coast, especially Louisiana, with this potential tropical system making its way along the shoreline. Where does it go from there? Well, again, it's going to work its way up the mouth of the Mississippi River, probably hugging the state line, the leftovers between Louisiana and Mississippi. From there, it's likely that it's going to be shoved eastward off to Tennessee, off to maybe northern Alabama, parts of northern Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, out to the east. So here in the Ozarks, okay, specifically northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, our chances of seeing any rain develop with this are very, very low. All right, as that system should go to the east before it makes it here. But folks in northern Arkansas, especially central Arkansas, will see a chance of some rain showers during the afternoon hours on Saturday and Sunday. The problem is we also have this broad area of high pressure trying to build in and gain a foothold over the weekend. High pressure is synonymous with sinking air, all right? But during the daytime, the afternoons especially, you can get enough forcing from energy from the sun to heat the ground to cause enough lift at the surface that you might be able to get some showers to develop there, okay? So if we see any kind of rain out of this in our viewing area, it's going to be located across northern Arkansas, Saturday afternoon, maybe Sunday afternoon. Nothing expected overnight, nothing expected in the mornings, if it even tracks that way, okay? There's a chance it may, but it also may not. A lot of the data is saying it's going to be moving east of the area, and we're not going to see anything other than just hot and dry weather this weekend. But we are watching this as it moves up the coast, up the Mississippi River, into parts of Arkansas. The Ozarks, though, largely going to be left untouched with the system as it makes its way north and eventually taking its way east. What we are going to see is some pretty intense heat. All right, we're looking at a heat wave, pretty big one too, as the high pressure heat dome settles in across the area. So we're going to dive in, take a look at one more graphic here, and then we'll hang this thing up. Here we go. We've been dealing with these daily rain showers or daily downpours. We're going to be ditching that pattern, okay? We're saying adios to the rain and hello to the heat. Hazy, hot, and humid weather building in beginning Saturday. All right? You can see here, this particular data at times brings rain to northern Arkansas as the leftovers struggle to produce anything at all from this tropical system, potential tropical system this weekend. Many of us are hot and dry, summer heat dome building in, and it looks like it's going to be a keeper. We're going to be seeing this hot and dry weather stick around not only this weekend, but also looks like early next week and probably for the majority of next week. We could be dealing with a 7 to 10 day stretch of hot and humid summertime heat dome weather conditions after we get past Friday. Okay, then it begins Saturday, and it could last 7 to 10 days after that. I'm meteorologist Tom Schmidt with Ozarks First in Springfield, Missouri.